Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sippin On Country. Today we have two of the three Chattahoochies,
founding members,
Audra Mae and Summer Overstreet. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this place is great.
I love this little spot.
And thanks to Elton.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. He never gets a shout out. He never gets shout outs. So, you guys now is you two and Cree Harrison in the Chattahoochies. But I mean, you also have a lot of musical background, you know, before doing the band. I guess kind of Audra, start with you, like kind of a little bit about your history and where you got to this point.
Okay, well, fast track. I grew up on stage, like in music theater. My stepmom ran a children's theater camp. So I was always kind of doing that, but I didn't really start writing till I was about 17, figured out how to play guitar and piano, and then right around then kind of just quit being interested in theater or like putting other people's ideas into reality. Started writing my own ideas down and then went to MTSU for 2 semesters, flunked out because all I did was write songs. Moved to LA, got my start there when I was 19, and was playing my own shows and stuff. And then someone from Warner Chapel came to one of my shows and kept coming. And eventually I got a publishing deal there. And I've been there for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
And and just put out projects on my own and with like an independent label and just always collaborating with people. And then moved to, got really great opportunities that helped me establish myself as a singer and a writer. And then moved to Nashville in 2017 and met Summer in 2018. And we immediately just hit it off and we were always cracking each other up. And then, we met the first member, the first third, and we all started just writing songs, and Summer and I would just crack each other up and kind of annoy everyone. And we just kept at it, and now we're here. Is that fast?
That was fast and informative.
Thank you.
That was a pretty great overview.
All right.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Now, Summer, you also let's go.
Let me see if I can be as fast. I was born here because my dad came here to do songwriting, and he's a songwriter in Nashville. And so I grew up in a family of 6 kids, all homeschooled, and started immediately loving music and wanting to sing. But pretty soon found out that my mom wanted me to perform for her friends, so I hated that. And then I began to write music by myself in a little closet in my bedroom at like 14.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of then, did a couple things, got pregnant at 19, had to put a pause on songwriting and stuff, but never stopped. And my dad had a publishing company at the time. So he signed me to his publishing company and said, don't stop writing, still write songs, turn them in. And so I was there for like 10 years probably, and was still writing in town. And around 2019, I signed with Warner Chapel. And so I've just been collaborating and writing with a bunch of awesome writers, and met Audra through that experience. And this whole project came out of just writing stuff that at the time nobody was gonna cut. It lit us up and made us laugh our asses off, and everybody's like, nobody's gonna cut it, this is great. So we were kind of like, I love a little bit like, you'll never be able to make this work, and maybe they're right, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the part where how we recorded the album, like how that even happened.
Yeah.
So we, like she said, we were so pleased with ourselves that we kept posting about it on our stories individually on Instagram. And Mike Elizondo, the iconic producer, was watching them because we'd worked with him before, and he was he's very supportive of artists. And anyway, he had been, unbeknownst to us, he'd been wanting to make a live album, like an album where the players all come in and do it like the A-Team, like the old national A-Team. And So he DM'd us and was like, hey, is this a real thing? Because if it's a real thing, I'll make it. I'll make the record.
All right.
Like, y'all pay for the musicians and I'll make the record. And, we were like, okay. And so I forgot that part. It's not like we just...
we just showed up and here we had a wonderful album.
We just fell out of a coconut tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Nashville. Who knows?
So anyway, yeah. That's additionally.
Yeah.
Should not have been a footnote.
I love it.
No, should have been the whole...
Should have been and then this amazing...
I love that.
All of the stuff that started happening with this record was one of those, like, okay, it like kind of dropped into our laps, and it was like one of those opportunities you're like, we can't pass it up.
Like, we will make this happen, whatever we
It must be meant to be.
It must, yeah.
Right.
Why else? It's a miracle. So everything happened in that process so easily, and all of the musicians came together, and the songs came together. We didn't have all the songs at the time when he offered, and then we wrote like 5 more that just fell out. And it, being a writer as long as we've been, I don't know about Audra personally, but it's never happened like that where you like just sort of vomit a bunch of amazing songs and they're all perfect, and then there's not one that you're like, I wish we didn't have that one.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't cut any songs. We recorded all 13 of them live in the studio with the greatest musicians in town, spanning generations. It was an incredible experience, and I can't believe we even got to do that. Pinch me.
I mean, I think
that's true. The wish.
It says so much about Nashville, though. Like, you can both come from, very different backgrounds and areas, and to then find each other in that little Warner Chapel thing. But also, I think it's very hard to find people that you write with to a point, like you say, where you can just like churn those songs out. Like, you can do it. Are they all going to be great songs? Probably not. But to be able to have that rapport that you have, and for anyone that hasn't listened to your music, it is how I'm gonna let you describe your.
Well, we always say it'll either make you laugh or make you cry.
That's probably that's fair.
It's very classic. The edginess probably comes more from like storylines and language and us trying to crack each other up. But it's pretty traditional musically, and especially the way it was recorded, and it's real country.
Your sound for sure is, and it's something that isn't necessarily coming through a lot in these days. Like, there's a lot of the pop country. I think the older stuff is starting to make a bit of a resurgence, but you definitely hear that in your music. But I love that you are mixing it with the topics that you're mixing it with, right? Because people are like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and listen. And the Chattahoochies, I'm assuming that is obviously like a little shout out to Alan Jackson. It would be weird if that was just a random.
Well, no.
What is that? We had no idea.
It was because we were all. It was like, well, if we were a band, what would we call ourselves? And it was like a Chattahoochies. It's like that.
Everything came out of like a joke.
Yeah,
literally. Right. It was just.
But a lot of the titles came from Summer. Like, if we were sitting there, I mean, she's got a gold mine in her brain that I'm lucky to get to like poke at sometimes. But she just would pull out her phone, and with ballads too, because Come Back Cowboy, that was your title. I dodged a mullet.
So good.
I mean, just her going, I got one called I Dodged a Mullet, and I'm like, we're writing that.
Let's go.
Thank me a man.
Yes. But the great thing about co-writing too is that you can have those. A great title is just a great title unless somebody knows or has this light bulb when you say it. Because I dodged a mullet because I like things that sound like other sayings that are ridiculous.
Right.
And so I put it down. I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't know what this is going to be. And it'd been there for like maybe a year.
She's a genius. Also her friend.
I love it.
So when I said that, I was just like, I don't know what it'd be. And I said, I dodged a mullet. And she goes, when you broke my heart. And I was like, oh, that's...
But there it is.
And it's like that. It happens. And it was so easy and like just fell out. And that's still one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that was fun.
It's so much fun to play
Fancy, Hey Good, and Sean Kennedy. We have to say his name like that because he's Scottish.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a pretty good Scottish accent.
Thanks. I've said it a lot.
That's our war up. Instead of like,
we love you, Sean Kennedy.
How now, brown cow? It's Sean Kennedy.
It's our Sean Kennedy. Don't give him too much credit. Bless his heart.
Shall I just cut that bit out so we don't go?
No, we won't.
So for me, I think the first time I came across your music was social media. I'm pretty sure it was on TikTok with Talladega 10. Cool. That was my introduction, and I was probably just killing time on the social.
As you do.
I don't want to do anything. I'm just going to sit and scroll through. And I was like, oh, shit. And I loved it. And I was like, all right, follow, let's go. Let's see what's going on. But obviously social media has been a huge part of it, and just is a huge part of being in music today, regardless of what you're doing. You have a lot of very funny videos on there as well. Like, you are really able to take liberties with the songs you've got. You've got your little like story videos. I mean, tell us a little bit about kind of putting all of those together.
Well, when we first started, it was just us trying to see, like, all right, well, we should have a presence on here, you know? And people really resonated with the fact that we weren't copying trends. Mm-hmm. You know, like the prompts and things that you're supposed to do for TikTok a lot of times can be a little weird, like to the point where nowadays, what is it now? Oh, your video will get more views if you put lip gloss on while you're talking. So it's a little weird. So we've always kind of been a little bit like, I don't know, I want to do that. Unless we can make a joke out of it.
Right.
Yeah. It feels a little weird. So I think people really responded to the fact that it wasn't the same old thing.
100%.
And also the fact that we were actually singing. Mm-hmm. That those were our voices in the room. Our live stuff would always do way better than just something we recorded that we were lip syncing over, because they would bump us off. The sound wasn't good. And then sometimes, I mean, the rules change every day. So
it's so wild.
Trying to chase that is tough. But really, it just comes from us hanging out, cracking each other up.
And it shows, like, and as a consumer, I think that's what's really fun about your music as well, is that, you know, like CMA, you played, watching you on stage, watching like the videos and stuff that you're posting, you 100% like feel like you're there with you guys, you know, like the fun that you guys have on stage and when you're putting stuff out, it comes across because it's authentic, right? You're not trying to be a cookie cutter version of what people want you to be. Right. It's just, here we are, this is what we do. And I think that's so important.
Thank you. That means so much that it comes across, because that's the only way we can be. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a formula and following it at all. No. But for us specifically, it does not come across, and it does not read, does not translate. We can't, it shows on our face. Like, my face is louder than my mouth. So that's the only way that we knew how to do it and keep doing it, because you have to keep doing it, unfortunately, for the rest of your life until you're dead.
You have to feed the beast.
So the only way to do that is to just be natural and be yourself.
Right. I felt eventually you put on a front, at some point that's going to come down.
It gets, you grow out of that. Mm-hmm. And you're tired. And you're like, how do you keep your energy up? And there's always new people coming, and how do you stay fresh? But it means a lot that you would say that, because we really, to this day, we fight tooth and nail to stay authentic, because a lot of suggestions are, we'll jump on this thing or do this thing that will get you the views. And it's like, it might get us the views one time.
Right, that's the thing. It'll get you the views that day, but then, like you said, the goalposts are changing so much that what works on Monday does not translate through Tuesday. And you know, it's,
and then also the people who listen to our music will see that one video and go, oh, they changed.
Right.
I liked it better when they were themselves. Me pointing at my hand like it's the phone.
That's
oh damn it. Look at that wine.
I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying, like, they were talking to their nieces and nephews, and they're like, you know, what would you do if you called someone? And they were like this. I was like, if I'm always, like, we don't do this anymore.
We didn't do this in the 90s, like on the real phone.
It was more like
where did this come from? Is this the 20s, the thing where you took it off?
For people listening on the podcast, we're doing the phone thing.
All right. Oh, yeah, we need to explain.
We're just listening. This is, yeah.
God knows what they thought we were.
And now everyone's like, oh, we'll just swipe up on our hand. This is our phone. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's just so bizarre.
But yeah, it's just, everything's constantly changing. And I know, like, personally for me, I'm more drawn to people's music if I feel like there's more of an authentic connection, because, like, I want to see who people are. It doesn't mean that I'm not, like, if I don't like someone, it's not that I'm not going to like the music.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to like the music more if I like that person.
We're all naturally drawn to something we can see a little bit of ourselves in.
Right.
And if you see somebody just messing up or being drunk or some, maybe having a nipple slip out, you're kind of like, yeah, I could see that happen.
That we have had to blur because we were having too much fun, which is also the plus of us actually being the ones doing it.
Right. So you're
it's not someone else going, let's just not tell them about the nip slip because this is going to go. This is going to pop off.
Hey, it's all about, living on the edge.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, Pink, for example, like, I've seen her multiple times. I don't think I've ever seen a live show where she has not forgotten the words to one of her songs at least once.
She's diddly.
Or she's messed something around. Oh no, it's normally when she's on the stage. But, like, I love it.
Yeah.
Because she gets so into having fun and performing.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes she's just like, oh shit, I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
And we've all been there.
Right. Yeah. And you would think it would never happen if you'd done the song 100 times,
so
but
polished.
it sure
she's so polished, but then there's that little snippet of still human. And then all of a sudden, like, that people are not so unattainable.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, I think it's nice. Like, yeah, I think it's really important to bring that in. So you guys started the band, but you do have a third member. I know Cree is not the original.
No, we had two other thirds. She's the third.
So
she's the charm.
Yep.
So what was the...
But what's interesting? She was around the whole time, right? Because we were friends. And when we were writing Talladega 10, we had, like, the concept for it. She, I was talking to her about it because we were going to call it Tallahassee 10 or something. We were trying to come up with a city.
Yeah.
That would, like, be catchy. What do we call it? And I said something to her about it. She goes, well, if you call it Talladega 10, you can get the NASCAR people. And then all of a sudden, all the metaphors in the world opened up. And it was like, cool. And so taking that back to summer. So it's interesting that she helped name the song, but she was not in the band. Yeah. She wasn't even close to in the band yet. It was 2 years later, probably.
Yeah.
What was the driving force behind getting the third member? I mean, was it that? Because we needed sing and being able to lift.
They had to be able to, like, really join in with us on not being too afraid to be silly.
Yeah.
To look stupid, to, like, giggle or whatever, and also to not be intimidated by, like, singing all together and, like, making sure and doing it live and not being too worried about. And everyone did a really good job of that, I would say. But for whatever reason, each time, it just wasn't fitting right. And with Cree, we were already close. She's already one of the greatest singers on the planet. She's not at all shy about going for that harmony and blending and doing the thing. And also she really wanted to do it. And
that always
already knew all the songs.
Right.
And, if she hadn't come in when she did, we might have been up Schitt's Creek. So it was cool the way that it happened.
And this band is such a unique thing in terms of, like, the music business and what people know as far as, like, being an artist and performing. It is like so important to actually have fun above else. And when things get stressful, especially, remembering the true North Star is, are we having fun?
Right.
Yeah.
Are we laughing our ass out? Are we crying? Are we, like, feeling lit up? And you'll have, it's a very natural thing, but it's every other odd person in Nashville is so used to, okay, but when does the business come in? And, like, we're kind of like, I don't know, do I have to?
I mean, we'll meet with it.
Right.
Yeah, we'll definitely meet with it.
We want to kind of see it on paper. We sure will. We'll feed it. We'll do their dishes.
Hell, we'll put bells on it. We'll breast
Yeah, but at some point it comes down to, what are you going to commit to in writing?
Right.
Well,
and there's so much, like, the music business is just, like, it can get a lot, and I don't always think that it's necessarily a great thing to blur those lines completely between that creative side and that business side. And in reality, you guys are the one that you have to work together. You have to tour and be in cars and buses with each other for hours of the stuff that everyone doesn't see. And I think keeping the fun and making sure that you can just go, why are we doing this? And knowing that you're doing it because you enjoy it every single time you step out on stage, rather than turning it into a 9 to 5,
right,
which I think can happen.
Or an obsession with attention.
Yeah.
Because that will steal your soul. And we've all three already been through the sausage grinder. So the whole point, the whole reason that it's fun and that it stays fresh is that we have real lives in between the times that we're recording stuff. We're not sitting around all the time obsessed with I'll do anything it takes to step on anyone or make you over there some money, make you some money. And I think that's not all that exciting for business people.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think they really would much prefer to...
Right, because that side of it is all about...
Yeah, you have to, people have to make money. So
right.
We understand that, but it just has never, so far, we've not found a partner there that's lined up with that same vision.
I feel like it's walking a really fine line to find someone that you can work with and it's a balance.
I don't blame them.
I don't either
at all, because it's not really their money on the line.
Right.
It's their job's money on the line, which affects their job and whether they're going to keep their
right.
And the whole rat race of it is to get the next hugest thing.
Right. Like, where are you at now? Okay, cool. Next goal.
We are not. In order to be the next hugest thing, you got to have a little bit of a non-threatening something for people to take a risk on you. And we literally wrote this album to freak people out. So it's no surprise to us that it's not an easy sell for the business side of stuff, because they've got real shoe-in things going on that
this is what we need from people. This is what we don't need.
Yeah.
And then
they all there is a formula. This is what's proven. Those numbers say this works.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really had a beta testing.
No. And this artist over here has never been through the sausage grinder. So they don't say no to anything.
Right.
Because they have no idea.
Right?
Yeah, so it's easier to work with.
Time in the industry definitely changes perspective on what you're going to do, and it's easy to be the yes person.
Yeah,
but it also doesn't always lend itself to then being the best versions of what you guys can be. And I think that if you're going to come out and make the music you love and perform, people, I think for your stuff, people are either going to love you or they're not.
Yeah,
I guess it's easier for me to say, but who cares about the people who aren't interested, right? You play for the people that want to hear your music and they're going to stick with you. But again, from that business side, they're like, well, we want the people that don't like you to come round.
Sense.
Right.
Yes.
That I follow all of the things, on social media that are like, stop playing for your fans. You need to play for your new fans who never met you yet. And I'm like, but also I hate calling them our fans, but the people who love our music have followed us for 3-4 years now almost. I mean, it's 2024. Did we start doing social media 2021?
Yeah.
So 3 years.
3 years.
They've seen every transition. And I really appreciate that.
Could not have been kinder. And they we've been teasing that album on some form or fashion for 3 years, and everybody has been patient for the music release, and now, thank God, we're finally able to release it, and everybody can see what we've been so excited about.
Yeah.
But they have stayed, and that dwarfs any sort of person segment they've what's it called? Figurative they out there that's like, no, thank you. I mean,
that's okay.
That's a real something.
Right. Yeah. And it matters because our fans, stop saying that.
Keep
the
saying
people
it.
who love our music.
It's true though.
You got to give them a name.
It's that literally is the definition of fan.
The chats. They are people who also have lives, full lives. A lot of them have kids. A concert ticket is not just a concert ticket.
Right.
It's a babysitter. It's drinks and dinner with friends. People are saving up gas to drive from, God knows where. Like people come from all over the place. And
tickets,
people make
tickets
8-hour
$40 or I don't know, however much you pay $40 for a concert ticket. But I mean,
an 8-hour drive to come see our show.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Incredible. So it's like, I'm probably not going to look over that group of girlfriends' heads to get to the next. No, man. I'm like, no, keep coming out to the shows and we'll keep playing them.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm with that. I mean, it and it's hard. I get it. For some people, it's hard to be like, no, we're going to do our thing. But also, I strongly believe that mindset will pay off over time.
We just suck at everything else.
Yeah.
But truly, like, if we're not doing our thing, then this is what we look like. No one could see us.
No,
we're bored.
The silence said it all. The silence said it all.
Like a lump of flesh.
Yeah, like a bump on
an idiot. There's no point. So 3 years of social media stuff and all this music coming out to culminate in this record. Does it make you nervous moving on from this record, given kind of how much time there was building people up for this?
I haven't even thought about it. I'm still so, like, we are not halfway to the finish line. We have 5 songs out. They say you don't really start getting like 1 million streams at a time until you have 8 out or something. So
that'll be $20 for each.
We got 3 more. Exactly.
Nice coffee.
So really, it's like, through the process, we have had so many dreams dangled in front of our faces to chase that I feel like I'm traumatized out of even looking into the future. I'm like,
so right now,
what's the next thing we're going to do?
Is on this record, and
I mean, the goal is to hopefully, with each release, and the further we get into like having this album out and people be able to digest it, that we can start to have our hearts back again, because it's kind of been fortunately been tied up in this project because we absolutely love it. But I think once that starts to like settle, we'll be able to like get back to like, okay, what else can we do that is something that exciting? Because we've done this. What is the next thing that lights us up, and how do we let this live in so many areas?
Right.
And not just in maybe a music format. I mean, it could.
Well said.
I love it.
So good.
Next, we can have damn, I can't even remember. No, totally forgotten what the channel is that I was even going to talk about.
It's fine. Rewind the tape.
I don't know things. I know. Don't we love this?
This is so cute. Just for anyone not watching the podcast, the coffee table is it looks like an old cassette tape. And where the wheels would be, where the tape is, there's 2 cup holders or weed holders or whatever the lotion holders, whatever you want to put in there.
THCA holders.
Yes, TBD.
Legal substances.
Yes.
Basil. You can hold your basil plant.
Yes. Like if you have any lemon basil, mint.
When you look online for stuff, it's like, here's your herb grinder.
Oh.
Like grinder for my herbs.
Yeah,
for my herb.
I need one of those. I've just been using a mortar and pestle. What are we still talking about? Are we still talking about the same thing?
We went off on a tangent pretty quick.
Didn't take long.
This table is awesome. There's like a whiteboard bit on it, so you can write.
Oh, where the label is on the cassette thing?
I should probably start doing it. So Elton, who has the studio, he said he used to do it when people would come in for sessions. But then it's a session, right? So people come in and the first thing they do is just dump all their crap on the table.
Shame. So that's a nice touch to not be appreciated, Elton.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Someone's going. So you got five songs out right now.
Yeah.
How many songs you got on
13.
There's 13 on the record.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we...
That used to be insane, by the way, to put 13 songs when we first stared.
Yeah.
Now people put albums out with 30 songs on. Nobody
this
cares.
was way before Morgan Wallen was doing like 58
Yeah,
songs.
or Miranda. Everyone was like, 13. That's a lot of songs.
7 is all I can.
Yeah, I don't know. Keep it under 10.
Are you allowed to do 13 in the South? Isn't that like... Just know it's wildly superstitious down
I think the witches are a little bit further south.
All right, perfect.
Oh, we'd be terrible witches.
I literally saw a book. I was in, I can't remember where I was, some store, and I saw a book and it was How to Be the Perfect Witch. And I was like, I really want to buy this.
I don't feel like you get into witchery to be to be perfect. Like I feel like there's a lot should be
Right. I mean,
a
it's
little bit more
important.
feel your way through it.
Yeah.
Sure. Maybe go
A
easy.
little bit of room for error. I'm already disappointing I didn't really try, but there was like something I saw on TikTok. It's like, hey, do this the first month. First month came, forgot. There goes my abundance for that. That's it.
Well, stop
I mean,
the
like
present.
you said, music is where it's at, right?
That's the only thing I can actually do because that's the thing I do when I'm trying to put off everything else.
So, as well as working on the stuff with the Chattahoochies, like you both said, you're both signed with Warner Chappell. So, on a daily basis, I guess you're both writing for other artists as well, and kind of pushing that stuff out for cuts. I mean, what's that like when you're sitting and writing, and I guess, you know, knowing that you're not working on your own stuff, how does that kind of...
I'm so used to it. I've just my whole writing career have been doing both at the same time. Yeah, making records and writing records for other people, and it's so rare that anything gets cut. And really, it's like my entire social life.
If anyone was looking to like a Nashville vault of just all the songs that have ever been written and are just sitting,
that is what breaks my heart more than anything.
And
hearing people talk about how music just isn't as good as it used to be, and knowing for a fact that I have heard songs that are better than anything anyone's ever heard that will never see the light of day unless you ask Summer to text them to you, and then she'll do that. But for real, like that's a heartbreaker, right? Yeah, I would imagine like people like screenwriters and authors. I'm sure you know putting your heart and soul into all that work, and then you have like 50 screenplays no one ever hears, and it's all stuck in your imagination. Songwriters, it's so easy to crank out a song in a day that there's just thousands of them. But
yeah, I mean, just somebody texted me yesterday and was like, hey, I'm so sorry, I forgot to put your name on this song. And I go, I don't remember writing this song. I'm still not convinced. But it's that like it's kind of a routine, and we're so well trained to do that. Wake up every day, right? Have the same cup of coffee.
It's like it's like a machine. You know, I know that especially in Nashville, like songwriting is kind of the heart of the music industry here, and so it is. You're going in, you're churning out songs. I mean, do you often, when you're writing, are you getting in? I know you get sheets in that's like, hey, so and so's looking for a song. They want this type of song about blah blah blah.
Yes.
You know, is that kind of a standard thing where you're like, okay, well now we're specifically writing for this artist? Or
they put those out. I mean,
it can be.
I know they're gonna keep putting them out.
It's hard to hit that target because it's so, you never know if it's coming from the artist, and if they're like a huge artist, they're gonna have a little bit more control over what they record. So you don't know if that's their idea, or their team's idea, or their label's idea, or their publisher's idea
that wants that song to then go, hey, you should really
Well, and for a while, I mean, here anyway, they've changed. They've moved on. But there was a long time they were going up-tempo radio hit, which is so specific and so helpful.
Yeah. And they'll compare it to another whatever radio hit that's on. Something like this, cross with, you know.
You're like, cool. Yeah. And also there's so much, it's so subjective now. And with
I think that's the
TikTok
trouble.
and social media, now literally it could blow a different direction, and somebody, like, they're like, we want this song, and one of their artists teases a song that is slow and like breakup, and then all of a sudden everything changes. The whole sound can change literally on a TikTok video. I have been a part of it and seen it, and it is wild. So those things, while helpful, I've only been able to hit a target once, and
I don't know if
I guess, and they're just so specific as well. You know, you're looking for something there's not really much wiggle room to kind of move out of that box.
When you hit the target, was it the artist was in agreement with the target, or was it just like the team was like, we love this, we're going to make them do it?
The artist was in agreement, but it was a thing of like, this artist is looking for this. We had an idea, we wrote the song, we pitched it for that artist. The team heard it, was like, this is perfect. The artist heard it and agreed. So it was kind of, and that's never...
That's rare.
That's almost time. That's
some round applause over there.
Please
wait for it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard.
I've plugged in lyrics before on a melody that was already there, where they were like, "Do not touch one syllable of this melody. Plug words into the exact melody."
Interesting.
And it worked. It was great. Only time.
It's such a that's wild. There's so many ways to approach it as well. You know, like when you walk in, I guess it also depends who you write with. Do you do a lot of writes together?
Yeah.
With well, like obviously when you do it for other people, but obviously everyone has their own way that they're going to approach that songwriting. I mean, I know I've been in sessions with people where they're like, nope, we want to get the beat first, and I'll sit and we'll start off with a drum beat and then go from there. But then other people where it's like, well, no, you know, I've got this hook, like, let's go from here. And then I feel like that.
Yeah. It's different every time. It depends on the producer and the other writers in the room. Everyone kind of has their little writing crews. So, like, I have people that I'll work with a bunch, and I'll work with Summer. Summer has people she works with a bunch, and she'll work with me and my people, and I'll work with other people. But everyone
to stick.
Everyone kind of has. We've kind of float around a lot.
Yeah.
You write with a lot more new people coming in because you're not as lazy as I am, and so I
just terrified.
I'm kind of just like I get so brokenhearted about like new people not knowing like how hard it is that I start trying to like tell them, and then I just crush their dreams or sound like some old weird lady.
I have everything but a cigarette in my mouth while I'm telling them, or like a cigar. No, I'm like, okay. No, I don't have everything in my mouth. I just have the aura of somebody that has been through something.
Yeah, they know better.
And not a lot of dick. That's not what I've been through. Please do. But it's a very like, I've been in a session where the artist was like, so I could tell he had so much hope, and I was like, don't crush his dreams. But I didn't crush his dreams because he was just like, man, if this is here if I want it, this is here if I want it, I have these opportunities in play. And or he was excited about a hold. And in songwriting, if you get a hold, it's like the artist is holding it so nobody else can listen to it because they might want to cut it.
Right.
But it is the very first stage.
Or they might want to get it out of the running for anyone else to cut it because it's a damn good song.
They can hold it for a year. And in that time, everybody's heard it.
Everybody's copied it.
If it's great, they've copied it. And it's about who puts it out first. Yeah. So it's not always, that's just the first thing. So he was excited about it. And it's like, well, you just never know. Just never know if it's like a for sure thing. I had somebody and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, the artist told me to my face they were cutting the song in a weird situation.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh.
Yeah. And we're still, I mean, as long as we've been doing it, we haven't been doing it as long as, other people. But as long as we have been doing it, we still get tricked. We get duped all the time. That hype is, woo. Boy, that's intoxicating.
Our hopes run away with us.
And then you're like, oh,
yeah. I mean, we're like, oh, why did I tell people about that? Why did I tell people about that?
It's always that one where you're like, this is it. And then you're like, okay, finally. It's like, this is happening.
And then can stand in the way.
And then almost immediately.
Wrong?
Right? We're at this point, then like it is a surefire thing.
Lisa, no doubt. But it's happening.
And then within a week,
We changed our mindset.
but that's when you then just stop talking about it. You don't say anything.
You think-
and then oh no.
The last big one we had, which I don't even know, I don't even think we could talk about it as what exactly it was, but we can talk about the experience of it. But like, it was like, I had told like maybe 3 people. And only one of the people, I was like, why did I tell that person? Because when I told them, they were like, oh, really? Is that happening? That's still happening? And I was like, yeah, it's still happening. And then it was not happening anymore. And I just thought, if I just hadn't told that one, I would have been fully supported in the heartbreak of it not happening. Yeah.
And
I definitely tell less people. I like have one and a half. And usually I spread out between like a good friend and a stranger. So that
doesn't meet someone else. By the way, just
like
so
At the gas station.
whomever would be mad about it happening and not knowing beforehand. And then somebody that maybe they're walking the street and they're like, wow.
They're walking the street. Just running through day.
They're running errands. They're going to the butcher shop. They're going.
Of course. Naturally, as you do. Get the sausage. A nice summer sausage.
Yeah, and so maybe they're like, I remember she told me about that. That happened.
Good for her.
And they were one of the 2 people.
and they never need to know that it went bad.
Exactly. They'll just be like, I wonder what happened with that.
It's the only time you'll ever see her cry. She's laughing. That's it.
Oh man, I'm just picturing how that's gonna like just walk in. Yeah. Okay.
Good news is hard sometimes, you know.
Yes.
It can be tough.
Oh man, yeah. No, the industry, especially from the songwriting thing is tough. And I think it's the part that a lot of people don't see, right? Because for most people, you're hearing the songs when they're cut. You don't know that Morgan Wallen, like this new single, was one of 40 that he was pitched, and they've gone, don't want that, and so you've got 39 more than that, 39 songs, and those writers just going to that one. There's so many. So have there been any times where you've walked in not intending necessarily to write a song for your project, but kind of finishing off and then going, shit, this is it, like we need to keep this for us?
I mean, for the record, there were a couple times. Did we Pank Drank? I didn't know when I went to write that, because I just kept calling Rosé Pank Drank, because I would get it in the box, and I don't feel like you can call that Rosé.
I don't know. I've learned to really appreciate a good box of wine at this point.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah.
Give me a good.
It's very economical.
Nobody gets hurt.
Right.
Nobody. It's a victimless crime. But yeah, like that one, I was in the room with 2 other people just doing a session, and that came out, and I thought, this is kind of hoochie vibes, and then brought it to Summer and our original third and was like, hey, I think this is cool, but I want Summer to take a crack at the second verse. And she was like, no, it's perfect as it is. And I was like, it is not as good as it could be. So she came over and we fixed. It didn't need fixing, but she just invigorated the second verse. Getting Barbie doll buzzed till the berries hit the bottom, and then I fell on the floor because
that's
what a line,
right?
Yeah,
no,
but
that's
anyway,
a great line. So we are just over halfway through 2024. I don't quite know how, but it's almost. I actually don't know what the day is today, but I think it's the 23rd. It's 23rd. It's almost August.
Yeah.
Which is wild. We're already in the second half of the year. Is the plan to have the full record, all of these songs out by the end of the year?
No, we put things out every 4 to 6 weeks or 6 to 12 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we're just gonna stay in the course. Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna bring you right into that start of 2025. You're gonna have that kind of sitting there, and then touring plans and like being out and around the US.
We have a cool show coming up, but I don't know if we can say it. Is it confirmed? We haven't got
we haven't gotten the.
This is what we should say all the time. We should say that all the time. Anytime someone's like, what are you guys doing? Well, we got a lot of cool stuff, but we can't tell you because it's not confirmed yet.
We're just filling up the bucket.
Right?
Yeah.
So
we're just waiting. I mean, but is it really any surprise? Like, because we're not out there, like, we're not hitting that pavement going, you gotta let us open for you. We're your girls, you know. There's entire teams of people making sure summer festivals are full.
Right.
And all that booking happens way earlier. And
yeah, we have a cool show coming up possibly.
Okay.
So we'll put that out.
Social media.
we'll talk about it.
But we've just been taking, like, as they come in, if we can do it, we'll do a show.
Right.
But we don't have a bunch of dates lined up. So we're just.
So you say obviously like with support tours.
And we don't all three live here, which is why Cree's not here.
Right.
She'd be here if she was in town, but you know. Just for the record.
Yeah,
it's not like we didn't
You're like, screw you.
Yeah,
You need to be
So
here.
it's not at a bus stop somewhere waiting for us to.
without an umbrella.
I swear they said 9:30.
Yeah. No.
But if you had to pick an artist, if you could have your pick of artists to go out and do a support with, who do you think like would be your kind of best fit to go out?
Fit.
Or who would you just like? You know, who would you?
Oh yeah, Miranda. That's easy. That's so feels like that'd be amazing. I don't know if we're famous enough, but someday we might be. But
Someday we might be problematic enough.
Yeah, we gotta get grittier.
We always more people off.
I think also because our music is so like country, country fried. It would be cool to open for people that aren't, just because we're not really like modern country, so it could be kind of cool. So we always talk about like Silk Sonic and things like that. It would be amazing to open for a different genre that was kind of giving the same genuine tribute to the
and also like that, just that bit of
humor,
you know,
fun,
because
joy.
And you're right. I think like when people are going to see the big artists, these, you know, again, kind of cookie cutter to a degree, is there's an expectation of what they're getting and what they're going to like on that bill.
Right.
And that does mean that there is a possibility that you would not necessarily be entirely in there. But if you could that would be awesome to go and tour with someone from a different genre and be able to bring in that like whole other thing, because you've still got the base of your music, like that is still the same. Yeah, that would be
well. And all the shows that we get to do, like CMA Fest, we get asked to do them. Like, we don't have a manager out there like knocking on doors, so every time we get to play a show, we feel like they really want us there,
right? Like
we really earned it, and it wasn't just someone going, get my girls in there, give them a chance or whatever. It's like someone going, we gotta have them come in. That feels really good.
I was gonna say that says a lot for, and not just your music, but for you guys just as human beings, right? Like, you've been in the industry long enough that you've got the contacts, but if people don't want to work with you, like,
so
that is
never ever use your contacts to try again. This is why people get frustrated. Because they're like, what's called so-and-so? What's called so-and-so?
And because there's nothing wrong with it.
Ruin my life just in my own head. Like, being like, hey, do you think we could play a show sometime? Someday? Like,
we'll wear a dress.
We'll bring cookies. You know, it just feels... That's on, that's just being...
That's personal, like...
Right, and I get that, and I know that, you know, I've spoken with a lot of people who kind of feel that way, and I've also had people on where it's like, if you've got the connections, you know, why not?
There's two schools of thought.
But I totally get it, because I've got people that I have known for years, and I'm like, I would just never ask them for favours, because I'm like, we're really good friends at this point, but I'm also just really conscious of... Even though in my mind I'm like, I'm sure they wouldn't think it, that if I ask, then they're like, oh, well, they just want to know me because now I can get them into this.
Right.
And I'm like, that's not it. Like, I would love to just be like, hey.
Yeah.
But then my, you know, self-consciousness is going to take over and be like, no, don't do it.
So like, worst thing they can say is no.
Right.
No. The worst thing they can say is, this is awkward.
and then
you're
you
even
never
asking
speak
me
to it
that.
again. And
Or let me, I'll put you in touch with so and so, and then for the rest of your life, you're like, why did I do that? It was all good before that.
but then
day.
in reality, from a logically, that's most people. If they can help, they're probably just going to say yes, and they're going to do it. But it's
You're
always
so
that.
right. And God forbid they think you don't want to do it, and that's why you're not asking. Isn't that awful?
That happens a lot.
That happens a lot. Why didn't you ever?
I told
they
you
must not want
to send me stuff, and you never did.
Because I'm a
I know,
weirdo.
but I thought you were a liar.
I didn't think you meant it.
I don't trust you.
Just
It's a fickle business.
Yeah,
my grandmother told me to trust her. Look where that went.
exactly. Watch out. Oh, scars.
Yeah. We love trauma.
Yeah.
It's
funny.
Let's monetize it.
It's enough to go round.
Let's make some loose leaf tea or something. Put Om on it.
Stir it round. Go back to the witch thing.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go. The witchery.
Teas.
Where were we?
I don't know. This is how we write for.
We were talking about like contacts and no management,
but
shows.
Touring and getting shows. That's where where we were at.
You're doing really good.
Yeah.
So I
can't believe you don't have a list.
And I just I open my mouth and whatever shit comes out tends to
Great.
then just be where we're at. This is my favorite thing, right? I like that whole thing of I don't like scripting things because then you miss out on the fun. You miss out
some of the nuggets by having a script.
And I know people who do that and they'll have like their set list of questions, but they don't stray from it. So like you ask a question and then, whatever comes back and then it's like, okay, but then you don't respond to that next question.
Yeah.
Like, we can't.
It can kind of mess with the pacing a little bit too.
Right? Yeah.
And it's like, and there's like, okay.
This may be a music podcast, but if we talk about whatever the hell we've spoken, that's fine. That's
everything
fine
that's
with
legal.
me.
Right. Yeah.
Some of it wasn't legal to talk
Some
about.
of it was not.
One of them.
That's
Bleep that out. So people wonder what I was saying.
The whole time.
It's a minute app. Please hold.
So music coming all the way through 2025 and shows interspersed in there somewhere which are going to pop up on social media when they happen.
Yeah.
We're just, wow. We're
on top of it.
Hey, look.
We don't need anybody to help us.
Yeah.
I feel like the majority of people, like, as much as people love going out to shows, most people are getting their content online anyway. So as, there's more money in it for you guys playing shows. That's where that is coming back on. But ultimately, in terms of reaching people and having people hear your music, which ultimately is, the goal, as long as you have that presence on social media, just makes those shows more sought after when they do pop
You're
up.
very nice. Thank you. That's a nice thing to say. That's very encouraging.
That is very encouraging.
Thank you.
That's me. That's what I do. So people can find your music everywhere. There's all the streaming platforms.
All of them.
They can buy it. Guys,
Somewhere, I guess.
please buy music. You can stream all you want, but also buy because
Unless you're broke off your
Unless
ass.
you're broke.
Then stream it.
Please
then
go
stream
listen
it.
to it for free. Then do
Pirate
that.
it. I'm
But-
For real.
But if you can,
Don't pirate it.
Why does anyone want to sign us?
Just take it.
well, these guys would be the. You want it? Just text us. We'll send you all of our music.
Yeah.
It's hard to be broke.
It is.
Music is medicine.
is.
It's hard to find.
Hell,
But we should be compensated for writing it. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, and any
I'm
streaming,
pointing to an imaginary tape.
it's not people's fault. Like if
No,
the streaming
absolutely
service
not.
is selling
streaming services are
ads on a free,
Tidal-
version of it, the
Tidal
writers
is
aren't
probably
getting
the
any of those
best,
ads.
but even so,
Yeah,
no, it's wild. If you can buy,
so
it's always
appreciate it.
appreciated.
Absolutely.
But any way that you can get anyone's music.
Sorry to undermine you on your own podcast.
I mean, you're right. No, you're right though, especially in this day and age. Hey, look,
Gonna want.
I
Snip that out.
If you're going to leave, I'm not putting this out. I'm not.
Why does your podcast?
Yes. No, I mean, look, I will buy. I mean, I stream all the time. We all do it. It's an easy way to get music, and it's a convenient method for artists to put stuff out. We all, the deal when you put it out, right? Like it is the horrible reality, the horrible truth.
You want people to hear it,
right?
And
if that means you get 0.2 of a cent if you're like,
what are you going to do about it?
Right.
I'll take the trade of being able, because it used to be so hard to just get anything out past.
Right.
You had to go through so many channels. Now, if you can create something, you can put it out.
You can stay here, record a song in the studio today, and have it on Spotify by the end of the week.
Yeah.
And that is wild. Like what a cool thing. No more Napster, no more LimeWire. See, remember those days?
Yes.
When you try and get a song and then you get a completely different song.
That's right.
Although that worked out really well for me once. I can't even remember what I was trying to download, and then I ended up with this song from a band called the Cat Empire, and they are from Australia, and it was like the weirdest fucking song. I loved it. I was like, oh my god, like this is so wild. And then since then, like I've seen them multiple times from that one. Oh, and they're like amazing. I don't even know what you'd like put them in.
Do they dress like cats?
No, they should. They're really missing a trick there.
They can always get there.
Yeah, they've got time. There's always time.
Yeah.
Then I don't know if this is not going to translate. Their lead singer is called Felix, and in the UK, Felix is a brand of cat food.
Oh,
they used to have they had a cartoon called Felix the Cat.
Yeah,
black and white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it must be the same one.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, who needs to talk about music when we can talk about
we can
cat
talk
food?
about anything.
But on a tangent again, here we are. Okay, so everyone can find your music everywhere.
Yeah.
Follow on social media, and your handles on like TikTok and all that is just
the Chattahoochies, and just Chattahoochies on Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook as well.
All of the places.
And YouTube.
And
YouTube.
Every now and then I've stopped saying chew, and I'll be like Tuesday or YouTube.
Oh no.
Because I don't know, I think I've just been here long enough that sometimes people look at me weird and they're like, oh,
I don't like those people.
Yeah.
Just
beat them up.
Travel a little bit.
Yeah, get out.
Get out.
Just every now and
out in the world, not out.
Go home.
every now and then I can't be dealing with people going, what?
Yeah.
Like if I go to a restaurant and I just want some water, I'm like, can I have some water?
Oh yeah. That's good.
You would be surprised the amount of times that I ask for water and people go, what?
I feel like they're just doing
water. I'm like, I don't think it's that different. Water. I can't.
Rude.
Well, I've perfected that word though. It's my best word.
That's good. Yeah, you're good at that.
My whole American accent's like really valley girl, so I avoid it. My voice goes up like an octave, and then it's like,
do it.
No.
Okay.
Oh my god. I was like totally like at the store the other day, and this guy, that is where I'm at. Oh my god. Because apparently that's what everyone says.
It's like a complete disguise.
Yeah. Right?
You're always
Should I just start doing my podcast like this? The vowels are kind of weird. The vowels are weird.
You're doing really good.
Yeah. I just wish I could do really good in not that accent.
Yeah, just one full podcast.
Just one full one.
Or you should just go in and out of it and never
explain it.
And
then everyone will just be like, is she making fun of us? I feel like she's making fun of us.
Like, I didn't say anything.
What do you mean?
I know there's a guy in the UK, he's a radio guy, and he's actually from Bristol, Tennessee, originally, but he's lived in the UK years. He has the weirdest accent. He does that. Like, sometimes he'll say things and it's like wildly British. And then he'll have like this weird American accent, but most of the time it's just this odd, nondescript. You're like listening to someone. I'm like, what is that? Know what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, he's been there so long and he's picked it up. I think I'm too far gone at this point. Everyone's like, oh, you don't sound American. I'm like, no, I think this is So it's here to stay, guys.
Good.
And we are. All right. Again, I don't even know what happened. Okay, so music is everywhere.
Yeah. Music is all around.
You can find us online or in your heart.
Guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having us, mostly.
No worries.
We love being asked to do stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. Guys, we're going to be back next week with another episode of Sippin On Country. But right now, Summer Overstreet, Audra Mae, thank you guys so much. They are the Chattahoochies.
Thank you. Bye. On the
Recorded at 2300 Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Original theme music by Gary Wood.